What's realistic for Minkah Fitzpatrick? Getty Images. With the Dolphins' recent draft class reporting for rookie minicamp this weekend, they'll need an iPad more than shoulder pads. The first step toward securing a spot on the depth chart will take place indoors as 20 rookies dive into a playbook they'll need to nail down by the time Miami hits the field for organized team activities in 2 weeks. The goals are incremental, starting with simply proving they're serious enough about this opportunity to stick around for the 4 weeks of off-season practices. After that, it's earning the right to stay for training camp in July, when the real competition for jobs begins. The 85 to 90 players Miami has in camp will scrap for 53 spots. Of the 20 players expected in Davie this week, only the first 5 draft picks can reasonably assume anything about their future. Anyone picked in the 6th or 7th round, as well as the dozen undrafted free agents, has nothing close to a guarantee. As the rookies class begins its venture into this new world, going from college stars to that guy who carries Cameron Wake's pads off the field, here's the outlook for the 8 players Miami drafted last month. Minkah Fitzpatrick, safety, first round. As good as he's and as much as everyone raves about him being pro-ready, Fitzpatrick is no guarantee to knock TJ McDonald out of the starting lineup. McDonald is 27 and looked good enough a year ago that Miami gave him a 4-year, $24 million extension before he ever played a game. A test run of him and Jones on the back end didn't go smoothly, and he'll probably show up to OTAs ready to prove himself again. The key for Fitzpatrick is to learn quickly and show versatility. The more he can do, the more defensive coordinator Matt Burke will look for places to get him on the field. Mike Gesicki, tight end, 2nd round. Gesicki is the most likely player in this draft class to earn a starting job, and the Dolphins are banking on him doing so. They have no one like him at the position. He was drafted to be the receiving threat this roster is missing at tight end, and his physical ability should be overwhelming compared to his competitors on the depth chart. Route running is the #1 job for Gesicki. If he is reliably in the right spots for Ryan Tannehill during off-season practices, it bodes well for his role in the offense going forward. A good showing will prompt Adam Gase to rework his plans over the month-long break between June minicamp and training camp. Jerome Baker, linebacker, 3rd round. As thin as the Dolphins are at linebacker, Baker's in for quite a fight at the position. Undrafted veterans Mike Hull and Chase Allen have stayed on the team because they're technically sound, and former first-round pick Stephon Anthony is in a contract year. Beyond those players, Baker's also got to outplay 7th rounder Quentin Poling. Baker is more of a coverage linebacker than a thumper, which should work well with what Miami needs. Plan for now is to install Raekwon McMillan at middle and Kiko Alonso on the outside. Baker's got the requisite speed to capture the other outside job. Durham Smythe, tight end, 4th round. By their own admission, the Dolphins basically drafted 1 tight end who can catch passes and 1 to block. Smythe is the blocker, but he'll have to be more than that. Even Anthony Fasano, a role model for him, was a factor in the passing game. Over an 8-year span beginning in his 3rd season, Fasano averaged 31 catches, 352 yards and 4 touchdowns. That's a good goal for Smythe. The Dolphins currently have A.J. Derby as a pass-catching threat and Marquise Gray as a seasoned, savvy player who blocks well and occasionally springs loose as a receiver. Kalen Ballage, running back, 4th round. Be fast and know the plays. Gase won't ask much more than that out of Ballage. Kenyon Drake is the clear starter for the Dolphins at running back, and Frank Gore isn't here merely to play professor. Ballage needs to get himself ready to fill in for Drake this season and to play with him starting in 2019. In the meantime, he's got an opportunity to be a threat on special teams. Clocked a 4.46 in the 40-yard dash at the NFL Combine and was an effective kick returner each of his last 2 seasons at Arizona State. Cornell Armstrong, cornerback, 6th round. The Dolphins' plan for cornerbacks is to have a lot of them. Xavier Howard and Cordrea Tankersley are the starters. Bobby McCain and Tony Lippett are reinforcements in its Hunger Games for everybody else. Armstrong has 4.4 speed, but wasn't a particularly outstanding high school or college player. He'll have to be convincing to assure himself of making the cut over the next 4 months, and he'll be competing with Torrey McTyer, Tracy Howard, Jordan Lucas and others to do so. Quentin Poling, linebacker, 7th round. The Dolphins currently have 8 linebackers on the roster, and Poling is last in line of that group. Additionally, the team is bringing in Kason Collins from North Carolina and Mike McRae of Michigan as undrafted free agents, and there typically isn't a huge difference between 7th-round picks and undrafted guys. Poling's got good strength and speed, which gives him a nice start in trying to win a job as a special teamer and second-string linebacker. While he's got some decent competition, this is a position that's mostly wide open for Miami. Jason Sanders, kicker, 7th round. Sanders' situation comes down to the fairly simple question of whether he can outperform undrafted Florida Atlantic kicker Greg Joseph. Whoever makes more kicks and looks better on kickoffs will take Cody Parkey's old job, unless, of course, someone better becomes available in free agency. Sanders made 25 of 35 field goals, 71%, in his college career and hit 111 of 112 extra point tries. Joseph, who played at American Heritage in Delray Beach, made 57 of 82 field goals, 70%, and 165 of 170 extra points. Miami Dolphins' 2018 salary cap spending shows their priorities. Takeaways from the Yahoo Sports Scouting series on the Dolphins. Parkland Douglas football team makes Miami Dolphins draft announcements. Check out the Palm Beach Post's Miami Dolphins page on Facebook.